folks, welcome. We are your hosts, Deanna Andrews and Mikelah Rose. Each of us have spent over a decade in various marketing positions at companies that have been large and small as we help them grow and increase awareness. So we are now bringing our knowledge to the masses, or better yet, the massive. So hopefully you enjoy as we share our thoughts on everything from how to build a brand and how to promote your brand and how to leverage influencers. There's so many aspects of marketing that we'll touch in this podcast. But yeah, we just wanted to bring this to the people who need it the most, the people who don't even understand why they need marketing and what marketing is. And that's what we're going to cover in this episode.
Absolutely. So, Deanna, thank you so much. I love talking marketing. You and I have had so many conversations offline. So I feel like they're just, coming into our group chat. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very, very interesting. But I think as we kind of kick things off, especially from a perspective of marketing just being so vast and talked about in ways that may just seem like aloof to people. I think like simplifying it makes it easier to navigate because it is pretty complex, especially when you start throwing out terminologies that people aren't familiar with. And so I think, and it's really the reason why I love and really got into marketing is I think it's very simple and it really hasn't changed. So the American Marketing Association describes marketing as the activity, a set of institution and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value to customers, clients, partners, and society at large. And even in that definition, it's like a lot of commas, right? So it really goes to show that marketing is everywhere. It touches everything, whether you think it does or not. I remember having a conversation with my mom, and she was just like, "Oh, I'm not. I don't follow marketing, or I don't buy something because it's marketed to me." I said, "Well, yeah, you do." I was like, "You just bought this new um car not too long ago." She's like, "Yeah, but I always liked it." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you saw it how many years ago and you decided that that was going to be your new car. And why did you decide it?" So the psychology around being nondescript, it kind of just creeping up. And when you're ready to purchase something, you think about what you like, what you're affiliated with. And that really hasn't changed. It has just gotten really much more complicated now that there are so many more spaces and places to showcase those
Mhm.
communications.
Yeah.
So I think in kind of transitioning, I think that that's why it feels complicated to a lot of people, but I would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I've heard from people, I work with a lot of, even outside of my day job where I'm working with a larger corporation, when I work with entrepreneurs and small business owners, they're also like, oh, I don't really need marketing. People get it. Like they get what I am. And it's like you said about staying top of mind, making sure that you are hitting those keywords and buzzwords that will resonate with your target audience, knowing who your target audience even is. Like that is
Mm-hmm.
such a key part of marketing. It's a conversation you're having with a prospective client, customer, someone who's going to take advantage of your product or services. You need to understand their pain points and how to address those with your particular product or service. And so it can seem like it's very complicated and you have to do all these different things to, try to push your messaging, but it's really just awareness of what you offer to an audience you hope will purchase.
Absolutely. And I also think even from big companies to small businesses to people who are selling services, a lot of time, even myself, we spend a lot of time on the product or the service, developing that, trying to understand what we want to offer, how we want to offer it, packaging, the like all of that is marketing in its essence. And people think that, marketing comes at the end
Mm.
once you have this product already ready to showcase to people that it's available for purchase. And really and truly, marketing starts at the beginning when you even have the idea of I want to produce this product. I want to open this business. I want to sell this service for people to buy. And the marketing wheel really starts at the same time. And I think people don't really realize that. But why do you think that people kind of wait to the end to kind of say, I'm gonna do marketing, but I don't find it as important?
I think you get so caught up, especially when you're talking to people who are trying to release something new. They get so caught up in, oh my goodness, this is a great idea. This is a great new offering. This is a great new service. This is something so great that they work on trying to make it great before they think of who wants this? Who's even going to need this? How is this beneficial to them? Is there something that already exists just like this? How do you make yours stand out and be different? And we call it the differentiators in marketing. You always want to understand the market before you are launching something. Like who am I talking to? If it's the conversation, who's on the other end of that conversation? Who's going to hear this? It's going to resonate. They need this product or service. And I think people get very passionate about the product. They get very passionate about the thing they do or the thing that they think will revolutionize the world. And that's great. But if there's no buyer or someone to take advantage of it, you didn't really accomplish the thing. You always want to keep in mind, who is this for and how is this addressing a pain point? How am I helping someone with this new product or
And
service?
I think you hit the nail on the head. What it has to solve a problem, regardless of where or what you're doing. Even if you're like opening a new restaurant, what is it? The location, why you want to open it, is what is why would someone coming into your restaurant? And that's, you've already thought about those differentiators, you just really haven't put it to a paper or to a plan, or you don't think you need to kind of like do this process
Mhm.
of just going through your why, your what, your who you're going to reach. And that, I think, you kind of sort of dismiss the idea that you're already doing it, and you think that the execution of what you have done is marketing enough,
Mhm.
right? And so I think that that also kind of complicates the process. And now there are just so many different formats. Like, I feel like marketing is, I feel like people understand sales, they understand, HR, but marketing is just this big pool of things to do. Like, people just get overwhelmed with all
Mhm.
the things because, I mean, there are just so many different ways to market to people, even if you're not online.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
crazy. So I got into formats a little bit, but tell me what your kind of idea around all of the different formats of marketing now. Um, I have my own opinion, but I'll share it. I'll save it.
When you say formats, are you talking about the resources for marketing right now? Or are you thinking in terms of just marketing is like saying doctor. It's like what what particular specialty do you have? What area
Yes.
are you focusing on? We've touched on so many different types of marketing. We've touched on, influencer marketing, social media marketing, things that you're doing online. But then there's all kinds of other marketing that we call traditional, which is like
Hmm.
out of home, billboards, things like that. Basically, all of it is just the awareness of the thing. Build the awareness around the thing.
Yeah, and I think if people actually just list out how they're building awareness, they will start to see their marketing
Mhm.
plan kind of come together.
Yes.
So, for example, if you're a DJ and you're promoting your service to 10 people, you already have a description of what you do, who you are, who you want to service, and you just need someone to commit to whatever value you're going to bring. And you just need to be prepared to have the conversation
Mhm.
on and have the selling points around, and a consistent selling story.
Yes.
Like, why would I hire you? Well, this is the value that I bring.
Hmm.
And it could be, I cost this much, I come with speakers, I have my own setup, I can give it to you for this price. This is the experience that I have. and this is the experience that I can offer you. And a
Hmm.
lot of times we think that, so that's one example, and I'm sure we could probably go through all the different um examples, which I think is helpful, to kind of have examples and go through them just to give people context. But you're already thinking about those things.
Hmm.
So the added benefit of, okay, how am I going to display my value? And
Yeah,
that's primarily for DJ using social media. And so if you look into your feed, are you displaying the value that you talked about with said person? So there's the word of mouth marketing, there's the referral, and then there's the follow up for someone to check and see what your value is.
that part.
Then there's the other part of, well, maybe you should invite people to this descript event to see what you're about. Offer a free ticket to your event. And then that is free marketing because now you, one, have bodies in the building, two, you're displaying your expertise and they can hear it over time, and three, they walk away with a better experience that they probably didn't get from another DJ.
Yeah.
And so those are things that you can kind of full circle come and offer. And this is like, and it's, and you don't have to be a well-known DJ, famous. There are bars and clubs that need music
Every night.
across every city in America. Like everybody need a look of vibes.
Imagine walking into a club or a bar and there's nothing
And
playing.
there's nothing playing. And of course you're going to get no's, but you know, you also don't know how many yeses you're going to get, but
Yeah.
marketing is being prepared to tell that story.
Yes, you want to be able to what I call sell your brand, right? You know what you offer, you know what makes you different. You also understand either you're coming in because pricing is important, especially when it's smaller businesses or sole proprietorships or individuals. Pricing becomes an issue. So it's how much are they willing to pay? What's my actual cost for doing this? Like getting to the location, setting myself up, taking a night where I could be doing something else to do this. So all of those things play a role in it, and people don't really understand that that's your marketing, that's your brand package, right? This is who I am, this is what I offer, this is my pricing, this is why you should pay that price, whether I'm less expensive or more expensive. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be ready to actually speak to that. If I'm charging you $200 more than the other person, the other bartender, the other musician, then I need to be able to tell you why I'm worth that $200. I'm not lowering my price. Like, I need
Mm-hmm.
to be able to show why I'm worth that price. So I do think that people don't realize how many times they actually are doing marketing. They just
Mm-hmm.
think this is part of, getting their name out there, getting the word out, and all of that is marketing. And if you have a consistent, as you said, brand and a strategy and the way that you talk about yourself or the way that you talk about your business, then people will start to understand your offering and your value. And that actually makes it easier when you have the second conversation.
Mm-hmm. I like to think of it if we had like this chart of marketing being in the middle. Marketing is PR, it's word of mouth, it's coupons, it's pricing, it's social media, it's paid ads, it's flyers, it's doing an interview for,
Mhm.
a radio station, or all of it is marketing. And I think that that's kind of what makes it big and vast, but you don't also have to do everything. You just
Mhm.
have to do a few things and see what works for you, and the way that you have to have like this continuous loop of, I've tried these particular things. These are the things that worked. And
Mhm.
these are the things I want to try. And these are the things I can get rid of. And every single business has to go. I don't care if you're a personality, selling a service, a brand. And these are what big brands do. They just have more resources. They have a team of people. They have reporting that they use.
Yeah.
They just have more resources. So while it may seem vast and big, it is. And we're not really telling you that it's not, but there's some version of that that looks good and works for everyone. But it takes time and
Mhm.
patience to find what that what works for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so obviously we're going to have multiple episodes to get into all of those different areas of marketing. But as I said, just think of how are you really promoting your brand, showing your value, and raising awareness. Once you're doing that, you can start to iterate on the rest. Maybe you do trial and error. Like you said, you're, you know, a bartender for $1,000 an hour. Okay, nobody's willing to pay that. All right, I need to rethink my pricing. Maybe that's something that I was a little bit too, too
Or
expensive
you need to rethink your target audience
or there is that because somebody might be paying a thousand
because
dollars an
somebody
hour.
might be paying $1,000.
Absolutely. But I do
Ask
think
other
it's
people what they think of your service. Is it
yes.
worth the $1,000? Why or why not? Like we dismiss the feedback loop and
Hmm.
getting feedback from people as a way to, even if it's just word of mouth, it's valuable to get
Yes.
feedback from people because, yeah, don't go lower in your price. Maybe you got the wrong audience. Yep,
That is true.
your family and friends can't buy it, but maybe somebody else will.
But the Sultan can.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've heard some performance prices that have been crazy.
I'm saying. But yeah, I do think you have to understand your value, the willingness to pay. But yeah, anytime you're just like raising the awareness of what you do, what you offer, that feedback loop is super important because it is important for people to say, you know what? I don't really think you were up to par for what you sold me on. You said you were going to be able to do this, that, the third, and it didn't really work out that way.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? I think you were really good. And I like this particular thing that you did that you didn't even talk about. And that's something that will make somebody buy this or purchase this or hire you again. So I do think it's important for the feedback loop. But again, just keep raising the awareness of what you do all the time, like we're doing.
Yes, exactly. And I think, it is, we're not here just to tell you, we can help you. So, I mean, Deanna, let's talk about like some of the things that you offer through your consulting services.
Absolutely.
Let's get into that
You
because
know, it's not a shameless plug. This is our podcast. So for DysChick Consulting, which I've been doing for a while, I really ramped up in 2020. I do brand marketing for small businesses, entrepreneurs, where I really help you create a holistic approach to your marketing. So if you're, listening to this podcast and you're like, where do I even get started? I definitely can help you with understanding how to build your brand, understanding what makes you different, makes you more valuable, understanding how you should actually approach your target audience, who is your target audience, and then how do you leverage that in order to continue to make this either a business or something more lucrative and make sure that people are aware of your product and services. Dish to Consulting, I do soup to nuts. I've actually started now where I can do web support as well. Not me personally, you don't want that. But I definitely have more resources now where we can help you actually build your website, understand, driving traffic to it. Because you can have a website, but if you don't drive traffic to it, it doesn't exist. So
Mhm.
how do you do the holistic approach to marketing your product and services? So yeah, reach out to me. I give a 15-minute free consultation, because I do think it's important for you to understand what your pain points are and whether or not I'm the right fit to help you address them.
And once you have decided and you know that you need to start a campaign, I'm your girl.
That's right.
I want you to come to me ready to spend the coin. Okay. I want you to have your brand book, have your positioning, and I really work on how to do the activation. So it's like taking the strategies that are core to your business and really creating campaign specific objectives, identifying how you want to create campaigns, whether it be in person, online, digital campaigns. It's a lot. So just being strategic about the different channels and what you want to do based on the budgets that you have, I think is really important. So I think from a strategic planning perspective, you really need to understand who you're trying to reach, what you're trying to do, and then closing the loop with how are you going to activate against those plans and measure them to ensure that you're getting the most value and you can reiterate on those plans. So
I
yes,
love it.
I'm available for consulting as well.
I love that. They start with me, I throw it over to you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I
Because you
help
don't
with the
want,
strategy, you help with the implementation of the
yes.
strategy.
Yes.
Story done.
Yes.
Nice.
And
I love that.
I think that that's even important to recognize because you might be in a space where you need help putting together the strategy, or you're really in a place where you have the strategy, you just don't have the bandwidth, or you don't know enough around what you want to do, or you've tried to implement the strategy yourself and you know you've already identified what you need help with. I think that that's important. So there are definitely different ways. And I'm really big on understanding the client of like what you really need. And if I can't help you because you need to go back to this drawing board, I've already turned away people. And I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, I can't help you because you're not in a space where one, you have the budget, and two, I'm not going to be the best use of that budget that you have. And so I'm okay with doing the consultation and telling you, being very transparent about where you think you are and where I think you are. And you don't have to take my advice. You still got to pay for my time, but um, I'm gonna give you my advice and let you know
Yeah.
exactly what I do think you could do with the budget that you do have. So
Yeah.
that's also
And
very helpful too.
yeah, and we both have so much experience doing this on large and small scale that it's easier for us to recognize, okay, you're in a place to get started, or ooh, you're not really there yet. Like you
Yeah.
haven't really gotten to that threshold where you are ready to really go full force with this. I do
And
think
trust me, that is better than taking your money and not being able to deliver on your expectations. Trust me.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I don't want to do that to people either, where,
Yeah.
I know I'm not the right fit. You just need something very quick that's done, or you just need to launch a campaign. I am very big picture. I am very, let's look at the strategy, the overall holistic approach. And sometimes people are like, yeah, 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 but can you just like do this thing? And I'm like, okay, I'm not the best resource for you because no. No.
And I'm like, I just want to do this thing.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's when I
Yes.
say, you can
Absolutely.
reach Mikelah Rose.
Hence why we have this podcast.
Absolutely. And we will drop all of our links in the show notes. Definitely want to hear some comments, some feedback from the diaspora and abroad. I want to hear from everyone, but I want to understand some of the pain points and maybe we can address them in future episodes. Things that confuse you about marketing. Maybe you've heard, you need a marketing plan and you're just at a loss for even how to get started with that. Or you think you have one and it's not working and you're not sure why. And if there's any topic that you think, okay, I am a job seeker and I want to stand out from the other applicants for this job. How do I sell them on my brand, my differentiator? Or I'm expanding my business. I have a great, location here and I want to expand into a different market. What do I do to get started? So drop some comments. Let us know what else in marketing we can help you with. But keep in mind, we are coming out with other episodes where we go into other areas of marketing. We go into brand, leveraging influencers, social media, cause marketing. We go through everything, everything. But we
All the
definitely want to hear from
things,
you.
all the
All
things.
the
Yes. And you
things.
know what? I just thought of it. I was like, maybe we should do an episode on how to know that you're ready to get a consultant or help outside of yourself. Like
Absolutely.
I think that that is a real question that people have.
Yeah.
And it will at least give them a framework because I'm like, even just picking the right partner is challenging.
Hmm.
And deciding what to do and how to kind of ensure that you get the best value out of whoever you're hiring for whatever
Yes.
price point. I think that that is important too. So maybe we could do that as a follow-up episode.
Absolutely. I definitely, when I speak to people, I give them a brand readiness survey to see where they are for that reason, to see
Yeah.
if they are ready to take the next step.
Oh, let's go through your brand readiness
Oh, we're gonna go through
survey.
the
Okay.
survey.
Yes, we're gonna go to the survey in the next episode.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's important to know where you are if you're thinking of where you want to go.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Until next time.
Yes, make sure you're following us on all social media. You can follow DysChick, DysChick, on all social media. You could also go to DysChick Consulting and you can see my site, which should be active by the time this episode comes out. We're doing a rebrand because I'm offering so many more services. So you can definitely look for me there. And of course, subscribe to my newsletter. I will be including marketing content in there and maybe some tips and tricks for you.
Maybe some tips and tricks. And you can find me at Mikelah K. Rose on all social platforms, MikelahKRose.com if you want to check out my website. It has my portfolio and availability for consulting and what the different offerings that I have as well. So, yeah, looking forward to connecting. This is fun, Deanna. I thank you again for participating and inviting me to do this podcast. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think so too. And the people don't need us. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Yes,
very Dochi
yes.
moment. Like the charts need us.
All right.
Thank you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. We will have more content coming soon, so you don't want to miss out.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye.